What is up, guys, and welcome back to part 2 of this mod showcase for Draconic Evolution. In this part, we are going to go over the storage system, which looks really cool if you see right behind me, and all the little cool items that come with it. So, let's do this! So the one really cool thing about the energy storage system in Draconic Evolution is that it is the biggest storage system you can get for storing RF energy. So in order to create this thing, we're going to go ahead and go into our little tablet here, go to energy storage system, and it gives you a little bit of information on how to create this thing, how many tiers it has, up to 8, which is ridiculous because tier 7 already holds 2.14 trillion RF, which is more than any other mod I've seen needing in the first place. So at the very basic amount, you're going to want to go ahead and get this energy core, which energy cores are not the easiest to make with material wise, but once you get them, they are very useful. And then you'll need at least 4 energy core stabilizers. And I went ahead and made this little setup. The thing is, when you make one of these, you're going to probably want to do them up in the air or somewhere where you have a lot of space for the middle, because you're going to want to upgrade this thing because it can hold a lot more than other mods that use kind of storage systems for RF. So we'll go ahead and place our stabilizers in place over here, right here, here. Like I said, we'll need 4 of these. So now that we got 4 of these set up, if I went ahead and just clicked on this, it'll actually tell you if your setup is valid or not. Right now it's valid. If I wanted to activate it, I go on and activate, and it's at tier 1 energy core, and it went ahead and turned on. Now if you wanted to upgrade this guy, it's pretty easy to do. All you have to do is go over to your particle generator, click on that, hit deactivate. Don't worry if you already have energy stored within your core. It is saved as long as you don't break that block. So we'll go ahead and go back to this. We'll go tier up, and it'll tell you what you need in order to tier up. And it's going to give you a build guidance too, to let you know what you need in order to make that upgrade to tier 2. So we need some draconium blocks. We'll go ahead and grab those right here, and we'll place them in the spots shown. So all you have to do is shift click. This might be a little annoying being creative. We'll go in all the way around, and last on top. Now that we have that, we'll go back to our stabilizer, hit this. It's going to tell us that it is valid, hit activate, and now we are at tier 2. One thing to note is once you get past tier 4, you get up to tier 5, it's going to be a little different. Actually, when you get to tier 3, it's going to be a little different because the inside of your core is going to be changed out to redstone blocks instead. And then the more you go up, you're probably going to be replacing all of these draconium blocks with redstone blocks instead. But to go ahead and let you know what's going on here, the stabilizers are considered invalid. So these stabilizers are not allowing it to tier up to tier 5. What you're going to need to do is go ahead and place more like this all around. And of course, it's going to be difficult being flying around in creative mode here. But I need to place all of these in a row of 9 in order for it to change. And it's going to look pretty cool when it does here. And there you go. That's the new way it needs to go ahead and be valid so that it can tier up to tier 5. Alright, so we got our new stabilizers in place. We got our core set up. So now we should be able to see tier 5. It's got this cool little animation going. Like I said, guys, this mod has some of the coolest animations I've seen. So, you might be thinking, this is cool and everything, but how do I get the RF energy into my storage system? Because right now, it can hold 59.3 billion, but it has nothing in it. There's nothing going on. I can't get anything out of it. I can't put anything in it. Well, it's very simple. All you need to do is make some energy pylons. Energy pylons are the kind of blocks that can communicate with your storage system. All you have to do is, if you place it below your core, you can place a piece of glass on top, and it'll do this little orb thing, and that little particle lets you know that it is connected to your core. If I were to place this pylon above my storage system, I would have to place that piece of glass on the bottom for it to connect properly. Another thing to say real quickly is that you can change between taking energy out and putting energy into the core by right-clicking on this pylon. Not on the block itself, it's just going to tell you that it's connected to that kind of storage. If you had another storage over here or something, then you can make sure and just click on it to see what's going on or what it's connecting to. But by clicking on the block itself, this is inputting, so it's going to store energy into the core, and then if you click on it again, it's going to show that it is setting energy out of the core. So right now would probably be a good time as any to introduce the crystals that come in this mod. We have 3 different types. We have the basic, the wyvern, and the draconic, and then we have actually 3 different types of crystals and the way they work with transferring RF energy around. We have the IO crystal, we have the wireless energy crystal, and we have the energy relay crystal. Each one is specific to what they do, and I'll go ahead and show you how those work right now. So right now we have the generator that you cut from Draconic Evolution, the only one that comes with it, and it stores about 100,000 RF in there. We'll go ahead and place an IO crystal on there, and then we'll go ahead and go over here and place an IO crystal on our energy pylon. So right now, these crystals have an internal buffer already, so it's already taken in some kind of RF, but it's not doing anything with it. What we need to do is go ahead and set, you see that IO mode at the bottom, it's in balance. We're going to want, if we want to send it out of the block, we're going to have to put it on input. This is it's kind of weird. I got a little confused myself. I thought output would mean it's outputting energy, but in reality, these are set to be input is sending out, output is putting in. So if I wanted to go ahead and make this one take in energy, I would go ahead and set it on output. And then we'll go ahead and connect these. Well, to connect these, you would need to go ahead and create this crystal binder. The crystal binder is something you'll use with all of these different crystals. So right now I already have this highlighted, but if I went ahead and clicked up into the air there and then went over to this crystal, shift right click, I'm highlighted right there, and then I go over here and I click on that. That little beam is showing that it is connected, and then it's even showing that it is sending energy to our storage system right now. So if I were to get off that, it's actually, when you have a lot of RF energy sending from one crystal to the other, it'll actually show a little beam. Right now, I don't think it's sending enough to show that off, but we know it is sending energy out because this pylon has a little particle effect going off. And then if we actually went up to our storage, we'd be able to look at it and see that it is gaining a charge right now and is gaining 84 RF a tick. So now we know that the IO crystals are the ones that connect directly to the machines and can be placed directly on the machines or any kind of source that is inputting or outputting RF. Now we also have the relay crystals. Relay crystals can only relay RF energy across networks, across IO crystals or wireless crystals. So if I wanted to go ahead and relay from this one to here, I could do that. But if I didn't have this IO on here and I wanted to relay from here to the relay crystal to the pylon, that would not work. What I would need to do instead is get a wireless energy crystal, which is significant difference between the blue and the red, to let you know that this is a wireless one instead. And these are actually the draconic ones, so it's actually letting you know that it can link up to 16 machines and 64 wireless links, which is just crazy. So if I wanted to go ahead and grab my little wand here, the crystal binder, and connect this one to the wireless, actually, I don't know if that's going to work. Yep, I just had to switch the connection there. And then from this one to this one, I can make that work. As you saw some of the particles going off, that actually worked. That's because wireless energy crystals can connect actually to relay crystals and IO crystals and machines and multiple machines. So let's go ahead and go into some of the cool little nifty items you can use and machines you can use in this mod. The one that I thought was really cool is the Celestial Manipulator. As long as you got some RF power to this thing, it holds 4 million. You could be able to change the weather and the time. So let's say we want to go ahead and go to weather and make it start raining. It's not really going to do anything because I am in a desert, but if I hit that, it's going to do this cool little animation and send this up into the air, and after it's all done, it will go ahead and start raining, which in a desert biome, we're just going to hear the rain. Oh, over here. Okay. For some reason, it's raining over on the edge of the desert. Doesn't really make sense to me, but if we wanted to go back to it and hit stop rain, we can go ahead and watch this little animation play again, and it will go ahead and send this up and make it stop raining as soon as it finishes. The other thing, as I mentioned before, was the time. You can set it to skip to sunrise, midday, sunset, moonrise, midnight, moonset, skip to 24 hours, or just to stop whatever it's doing. And you can also hook it up to a redstone configuration, which someone probably a lot better than me at redstone could probably get this thing to work, because I tried with a daylight sensor. I'm not that great at it, so it didn't work for me, but I'm sure you could try and figure it out. So let's go ahead and just set it to sunrise. It's going to do another cool little animation showing you what looks like the sun and the moon, and let's go ahead and see what happens. And there we go, it is finished and it is at sunrise, so pretty cool. Here I have holding in my hand is a Draconic Flux Capacitor. This is what's going to charge your weapons, tools, and armor to have more RF, or to charge the RF up in them. Because as you saw in the last episode, your weapons and armor have RF stored within them. So if you ever wanted to charge them, you'd make this and shift right click to go into charge armor mode, click again to charge held items, or you could click again to be in charge armor and held items. So as you use your items or as your armor dwindles down, you'll be able to have this in your hand and charge them, so you won't have to worry about them running out of RF. Now you might be wondering, what happens when your flux capacitor runs out of RF? It's not like you have any kind of machine that can put RF into this thing. Well, there you'd be wrong, because you have the energy infuser. This one is really cool because it allows you to put RF energy into items as fast as possible. This thing is ridiculously fast. So if this thing was empty and I placed it in here, it would fill up almost automatically over here, and it would go ahead and give it back to me. Now this is a pretty cool item that comes in Draconic Evolution. It is called the Disenchanter. What it does is, if you got an item that you wanted to go ahead and get the enchantment off of, say a sword or something like that, I don't have anything like that right now, but if I did, I could put that weapon in here, put the book in here, and it will give you the ability to extract that into the book and take the book out, so you can put that kind of enchantment or save it to put on a different item later on. Over here we have the rain sensor, which is pretty self-explanatory. It will emit a redstone signal as long as it is raining, and when it is not raining, it will turn off. And that is another pretty cool thing. You could probably set up some kind of redstone device to act with your celestial manipulator. Then we have over here the potentiometer. This allows you to adjust the strength of your redstone signal. So if I only wanted it 1, 2, 3, and you could go all the way up to the, as long as I don't break it, the highest strength of redstone you can have. So over here we have the entity detectors. We have the regular one and the advanced one. They do exactly what they say, and inside you can see a couple different things that would give you an idea of what you can kind of do with them. They give you a range of what it's detecting between what it's going to scan. So if we wanted to open the entity filter, we can have it detect hostiles, passives, or players. So if I detected myself, it would emit a redstone signal as long as I'm within 10 blocks. And if you increase this, it would increase the amount of energy it uses. You can also have it set to a pulse. You can set the minimum number of detected entities required to produce a redstone signal, and you can set a max threshold as well. The advanced entity detector does a little bit more in the fact that you can have a little more control over your pulses, your range, threshold, and max threshold, and your entities. The only difference here is you can actually blacklist certain mobs, and you can also set other. Other would be maybe like in a PvP server or just a regular server out in Minecraft, and you can set certain player names so that these detect certain players when they come up. Maybe something happens, fireworks shoot off, or maybe there's a bunch of arrows that shoot off if you don't really like that person. But it's pretty cool, so you can actually set these to make some pretty cool things happen. Something I thought would probably be useful with using those entity detectors is if you made a base and you put one of these mob grinders out, and you would go have the mob grinder sound off when a hostile mob is nearby. I thought that would be a really cool idea. Over here we have the Draconium chest, which is humongous. There's so much space in here. It also comes with a crafting table and a built-in furnace, and you can pipe in items from the left, from the right, up, down into it. And you can also create regions, IO regions over here in different sections of the chest. So if you say like you made a region right here and piped in items from the left, maybe they piped in the items from the left, went into the furnace, and then went ahead when they were done in the furnace, they went into the region over here, and then when they were done, maybe they piped out over here to another chest or something. Now there are a couple little things left, but I don't think many of them need to be covered. You could go ahead and figure those out because it's not much to them. Like the spawner that comes with this mod, you can actually change the spawners you come across to be your own personal spawner and place it with a certain soul that is dropped from mobs. So those, I think that's actually the last one. I don't think there's anything else that I haven't covered. I wanted to go ahead and cover though the advanced dislocator and the regular dislocator. They are pretty much teleportation devices. So the dislocator, if you made that and you went over here, as you see in your hand, it's going to say unbound. If you want to shift right click, it's going to bound you to a certain access. So if I shift right click right there, I am bound to that. And if I walked over here and went ahead and right click, it's going to teleport me right back to where I set that. Now you also have the pedestal, the dislocator pedestal. If I were to go ahead and set this in here, now I don't have to have this in my hand, but it's right here. Say if you had this in your base and you wanted to go ahead and go to another base, you could go ahead and click this and it teleports you right over there. The problem with this is that it only gives you one area to teleport to. That's where the advanced dislocator comes in handy. The advanced dislocator can go and save multiple locations so that you can teleport all over the place, or you can use it in this awesome portal. Now, the reason I'm so excited about this portal is because you can actually take a rail system and shoot it through the portal and you'll end up on the other side on the minecart, which is pretty cool. Now, I would not try this at long distances across areas, and I'm not sure if it's just because I have it on the same axis, the same location here, but I had another portal set up that sent me across way far away. As you see, this little rail system I had going on, but it did not work and it kind of glitched out. To create these portals, you would need to get some draconium infused obsidian. These portals can be made in any way, shape, and form as long as they are 2D. So if I wanted to make one that was kind of like over here, up here, hold on, we'll just go ahead and create a quick one right now. And down here, I am not doing very well with this, so we'll do that and this. And all you need to do is, once you've created one like this, we'll go ahead and go over here, maybe right here, and set this down. We need a dislocator receptacle. You need at least one of these in your portal for it to work. And then we'll go ahead and get this advanced dislocator. So let's go ahead and quick save a location real quick. Shift right click. So the advanced dislocator is going to give you a bunch of different options, well, a bunch of different areas you can save, as you can see right here. If I wanted to just go ahead and add new and just commit, then I could go and, oh, for some reason it didn't want to save. Commit. Oh, it did save. It just didn't tell me. Okay, so that was a little weird. And we'll go over here and place this straight into our dislocator receptacle. Now, as you see, I placed it in the receptacle and the portal was formed, even though it is in a weird shape. And I went ahead and jumped through. It would teleport me right where I saved that location. Now, don't worry. Once you put your advanced dislocator in that, it is not lost and gone forever. You can actually take it out if you really wanted to, and you can go ahead and set more locations. But take in mind that it can only operate off of one location, so this might be better for just the regular basic dislocator. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps everything up for this mod showcase on Draconic Evolution. I hope you found this enjoyable. I hope you go ahead and check out this mod. And if you do, please leave a like or comment down below to let me know how this mod works for you in your survival playthrough. I hope this was very informative for you guys. And if you would, please subscribe to my channel to get content like this every weekend. Thanks again, guys. See you in the next one. Peace.